Ruri Dragon is the next big thing. When Volume 1 released, it sold more copies than My Hero Academia when its Volume 1 debuted, in like the first 6 days time span. And now this still doesn't come close any to the older Jump classics, but it's still quite the accomplishment for a more slice-of-life series that isn't battle-focused at all. What is up? I'm Bees, and I'm here to explain what is all this hype about, and here to hand you a ticket personally to board the hype train for yourself before it sets off. And now, this is kind of a huge deal because we've been seeing less and less other battle-focused serializations coming out of Jump that have just been popping off for real. So at the very least, it is interesting to see the main place for the battle manga just kind of get outshined by all the lighthearted series. But personally, I am fine with it. Okay, and now, I finally understand why this Volume 1 was such a big hit. I've become enlightened and my third eye now open. So, Ruri Dragon's about a girl who wakes up one day with horns, and she asks her mom, what the hell are these horns all about? And she's like, oh yeah, your dad's a dragon. And we just kind of go from there. Ruri's going to school with these horns on her head, and really just kind of standing out or looking like a cosplayer or something. And Ruri's honestly really funny. She's always coming up with super fast comebacks and just yelling at everybody who's trying to talk shit. And I honestly did laugh out loud a few times reading this. And our Ruri is pretty good at dealing with everybody just staring and commenting on her horns all day for the most part. It's nothing too out of the ordinary here if you've seen other shows like Gabrielle Dropout or Squid Girl, or there's so many more that are just this kind of genre, you know? You know what I mean. But Ruri Dragon is a bit more than that. You might already know this, but I think this is super cool, and if you don't know, you're just about to look back at a bunch of different references in anime and manga and shit, and you're about to just be mind blown. So, a Ryu is an ancient Asian style of dragon, and it's in a lot of like paintings and stuff. And this is a dragon that doesn't have wings or anything, and that's because it's said that this dragon grabs clouds and like just grips them and walks across the sky. Pretty fucking cool. But this mighty dragon here, it started off as just a koi fish, and in the folklore, the koi fish was trying to relentlessly swim up this big waterfall, and then one day our little fishy little guy makes it to the top of this waterfall, and then the gods turn him into a Ryu, the big ancient dragon. Pretty cool, right? I mean, didn't you think it was weird that Magikarp turned into a Gyarados? It took me so long to connect those dots, even after I figured this out. It's just so cool. It literally blew my mind. So leave a comment if this is the first time you heard about that, because I genuinely want to know. Okay, so back to Ruri Dragon now. This is a story about coming of age and growing up. Ruri's an awkward teenager dealing with all her teenage problems and her dragon problems. She has to become the Ryu that made it up that waterfall, overcoming all these problems, and she's trying her best to make it through high school with everything that she's got going on. And Ruri is slowly turning into a dragon, getting more dragon traits as the story goes on. And while she's already self-conscious about having these horns alone, now she's fucking breathing fire in class. So now Ruri is basically just a loaded gun sitting in class, not knowing when she can breathe fire because she doesn't know how to control her dragon traits or whatever. And Ruri is struggling, you know? She's literally turning into a dragon and having to face the facts that she looks different than everybody else and really just sticks out because of it. And now she's a literal danger to the students because she's just breathing fire at random. And now she's having to take time off of school to figure out how to keep her fire breathing under control. So she's getting behind on her work, setting her classmates on fire, and having to deal with the prying eyes and curiosity of all the other students. But honestly, who wouldn't be interested in a half-dragon classmate? So Ruri is trying her best, but when one problem is solved, another one arises. Whether it's trying to get by at school or trying to get by as a dragon, she literally cannot catch a break. And there's a few people at school that she can really call her friends, and Ruri isn't really socially awkward or anything. But I really am super interested to see where this series goes because it is already starting up and building itself up for a really, really nice ending. And now, a little bit about the manga. Now, it is really rough for an artist just starting out in Jump. You have way less editorial help, and that means you gotta spend way more time just on every single page and chapter by yourself to push out every single week. And Jump and Shueisha are pretty strict on the new series that they aren't sure is going to bring the money in for him. And Ruri Dragon is this mangaka's first serialization, and he's having to take a lot of breaks for health reasons, so they ended up just moving him over to Jump Plus, the online version, and this is a lot better than just canceling him outright, honestly. And this is not a bad thing at all by any means. Chainsaw Man just moved to Jump Plus for Part 2. And it's bi-weekly, and I really respect that because we're not getting a rushed art, and you already know, if you know anything about the Chainsaw Man, you know that we need to take a little bit of time for that beautiful art, especially those backgrounds and just, oh, it's beautiful. So, if Ruri Dragon gets put on a consistent, like, bi-weekly schedule, I'd honestly be really happy. And if you're in the manga world at all, then you know how easy it is for a new series to crack under the pressure and how hard it is to just stay with that consistency. I'm certain the series will not get cancelled. The Volume 1 now has 200,000 copies sold. And I really hope that the mangaka gets well soon, and I really hope that he can just get in the groove and release these consistent chapters. Pretty sure this man is like 21 or 22. I'm 22, like that's crazy. And it's super impressive to see somebody that young getting serialized in Jump. But that's all I got, and I had fun talking about this stuff. Leave a like if you want, subscribe if you want. Thanks.
Hey, you got me fucked up like 3 times in the backseat of a damn Nissan. Nothing but another demon. You take it away for no reason. Something unable to speak on. Eventually it'll all creep on. You go and get sick of like treason. They hated on me, I keep season. You got me fucked up like 3 times in the backseat of a damn Nissan. Nothing but another demon. You take it away for no reason. Something unable to speak on. Eventually it'll all creep on. You go and get sick of like treason. They hated on me, I keep season. As I'm ready, you can call it the showing gun, but I am blowing on pro color renegade. But I got the skills and I'm spitting these bars flow.